Welcome to my channel, Mumus Art. My name is Müge Cengiz and I will help you to develop an oversized garment on top of 9-head fashion figure. Here, if you want to make a hoodie, please note that you have to come until the midpoint of the forehead of the mannequin. And then you have to put some enough room and you can go a little bit over the head, but not too much. If it's a point hood, it's going to look like that. That means if it will be having stitching in the half of the hoodie. Some of them have different properties, like there will be a panel in the middle of it. So I made a top stitching around the hoodie because there will be a drawstring coming from it. And here I also want to show you how to make sunglasses. So I just put it, and then it can be a regular one, but you have to make the frame. And then, of course, if you want to do some hairstyle, you can put like what I do. Like one part, it can come from the outside of the hood, or you can make from two sides. But one of the important thing about using oversized figures is the attitude of the mannequin should also be matching about what you are going to do. Like this mannequin is having some cool walking, and I'm going to put first about the zipper in the middle, and with even top stitches. If you want to show everything, it's going to be a good idea to make it, because in this type of drawing I'm trying to show you how to make realistic fashion sketches that you are going to use as a designer, so that whoever is going to weave it, they will understand about the properties. Here, because it's a little bit bigger than the body itself, I'm putting some drapes because it's going to be a cotton fabric which is going to be a little bit soft. Here I have to go a little bit over the sleeves because it's going to be a big one, but I want to create an effect as if this arm length is elongated, so that there will be lots of drapes around it. We can always make some dramatic, folds for these. And to be able to make it, I have to make it outside of the sleeve, because I keep the gravity, but still it's going to be much more bigger than my sleeve, and it's going to show. Here, as you see, it's coming even on top of the sleeves because it is so big. So I'm placing them. If you are a little bit shy about how to make these drapes, which is very difficult without having some actual figure, I believe it will be your best idea to check and make from observation about these type of folds in the beginning. Here, because this is going to be a long path which is going to reach the floor, so I make it like that. It is big, but because because one of my leg is in front of the other one, I keep one side as it is, the inner side, but for the outer side, all the excess fabric will be going there. And because of the knees, there is the stretching points, like from the knees, the power is coming. So at the end of the day, you have something like that. Because it is reaching the floor, it looks like this, and it is oversized. Inside, I want to put something on. And there is an angle on my table, that's why you see it like that. It is very important to work with some slightly angle when you have drawing. And here I'm using putty, which is Pro Markers color, for a little bit dark skin tone, because I want to make very soft color. So if you also make the skin in a very soft way, then it can be too pale. So you can use some tricks like this. Every time you are drawing, you have to think about who is going to be the model that is wearing my clothing. So think about it, the whole thing, so that you can make a actually much better illustration. So in each fold, I'm moving according to that direction, as you see. And when it is still wet, if I make these drapes, it's going to give a very soft idea. For this reason, I'm using the big tip, not the small tip, because with the small tip, I cannot cover as much as possible like this. So I'm making very basics, and it can be a good idea to use something like, for example, warm gray number 3, cool gray number 3 type of gray. And I use especially warm gray because it melts with this powder in a very good way, because it has brownish effect. And because it's going to be a metallic zipper, I made it. And here I'm going to apply again a soft version, but it's like a cotton pant but in a jersey fabric. It is soft, it is easy, so my folds should be soft as well. And I have to act fast if I want to blend it in a good way. That is for sure. And for the glasses, if you just leave a place in between so that you can mimic the mirror image. And this hair is coming out of the hoodie, so you have to move it accordingly. And with colored pencil, you can make it in a good blend about your shadows. And now you see it without the angle, that's why now it looks a little bit different. Here I'm applying it. I am applying all the realistic touches for the hair with colored pencil. And it is a very sharpened one, so that I can make my blending in a good way. Then here comes the details. Now you have to be extra careful about the details you are making. This is a very plain type of illustration. The details are very small because I want to concentrate more on the clothing, and as you know, the hoodies generally they don't have too much detail anyway, so it's a very sporty look. And for the pants, it's also oversized. Both of them are oversized. So the difficulty about making oversized is to know where you have to put these folds. For this one, actually working with realistic garments and then change the details as you like is a good idea, because the volume and the drapes you can take from some photo, but you can change the whole detail, and then you are going to have a very nicely done illustration. If you try to do it from your head, generally you fail, because your mind, in order to teach your mind about these folds and drapes, you have to make muscle repetition. That means you have to draw a lot of the same garment type with some details. Then your mind will understand exactly. So it requires some special attention. For this reason, working based on observation is much more better idea. It's a wiser thing to do. Then about the drapes, I know that they should be soft. And here I'm making rib. The ribs are totally parallel lines, and they have to have equal distance in between them. You can also blend and make like a shadow so that you can make the folds in a much better shape. But basically, when you are trying to do something like rib, you always need to use a very sharpened pencil. Otherwise, if you make them in a bad way, or it should be in a sketch type of drawing, then it will be okay. But still, the repetition of the ribs should be equal, because our eye can catch these type of details in such a fast way that you will be amazed about it. Here I'm having one dark brown with me, and it is a type of cold dark brown, and I can use all over because the gray I use here is a warm gray, which means a little bit brownish. So if I want not a very dramatic one but a soft version, browns are always very nice to make the blending with the garment and make the folds. And I'm making in a very fast way, like my idea is to make it soft and easy, and I have to put the folds where they are reaching the ground or around my ankle or about my kneecap. So every fold is going to the kneecap, as you see. After the kneecap, the power is broken and they come to the floor in a vertical manner. So for these, you have to be patient and you have to make it slowly. Generally, if we want to do some clean illustration like this, it's going to take time. Is it enough? No. I just want to make a little bit higher gear and add some black, because if I leave it like that, it's going to look a little bit too soft. It needs the darkest points. So with black, I'm going to make it. Still, I'm keeping the freshness, but all I have to do is to add some certain places that's going to make it a little bit more powerful. That's all. And how I use my pencil is not with the same power. I'm releasing, I'm putting more power so that my folds are getting softer. So I'm adding these, and what is left? The shoes. Here I'm going to do something like a Adidas, but in a platform, because this girl is cool and maybe it's a new sneaker, I don't know, but everything should be in harmony in these type of illustrations, like the style. Like if I put a stiletto there, it's not going to look funny. I mean, it's going to look funny, right? So you can take a photo of some certain sneakers, and then by looking at it, you can make it or you can change it. In this way, you can get very good results. You can also add these type of details in Photoshop. So here I'm showing everything totally by hand, but you can still use some certain things in Photoshop. It's going to make your drawing in a much more better sense. Here I need to add the details with the outliner, so I'm using a 0.1 outliner, and I have to make the teeth. So I made a drawing line in the middle and then two other parallel lines to it on each side. Then I make 90-degree angled like stitches, like small parallel lines in horizontal spacing, and then here it looks like a zipper at the end. So for these type of drawstrings, always use two lines, not just one line, because they have volume. And don't forget about the top stitches. If there is any open zipper like that, you have to have top stitches, because top stitches are holding the zipper together. And because it is very fresh color, I don't want to put all over, but I want to make where the details is needed. So, you know, the soles are not totally straightforward. I want it chunky. And here it is, my oversized girl in soft pastel hoodie and a very big oversized pants. But of course, I should be using a little bit more darkness so that in each layer it becomes much more better looking. But you have to stop yourself at some certain point, otherwise overdoing is also not a good idea in illustration. And I think it is enough. Thank you very much for watching my videos.